Bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Oh, bad boys, bad boys. Say what you gonna do? What you gonna do when you watch Dan and Jay's Comedy Hour podcast?
Wow.
Dan and Jay's Comedy Hour podcast is filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Oh.
Don't you remember the Cops ends that way, right?
Yeah, I'd forgotten. The Cops, the good old, yeah. Every time something terrible and classist happened, everybody's like, ah! Or yeah, ooh. Yeah, good call.
I think my mic is a bit hot on the operating system side, so I'm going to fix it real quick.
Okay. So this is my new Comedy on Vinyl shirt.
Nice.
The problem with it is, look at when I sit normal, I didn't realize how low on the shirt the logo was. It starts very low, and I'm like, okay, maybe I'll adjust that. It doesn't look the worst, but a good chunk of it's on my belly, and so it just, for some reason, didn't track on the actual website. So at least it's an easy adjustment to make. I haven't had a shirt for Comedy on Vinyl that ever looked good. I had like the old Cafe Press one, and it was terrible. Yeah. And this one looks pretty good. This is Redbubble. It's imperfect, but it works. Yeah. It is fun.
The only thing I don't like about Redbubble, the reason why I didn't want to use them, is because they kind of let people readjust the pattern all they want. So you don't really have full control over the shirts.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, you can change the placement of the logos and stuff all you want as a customer.
That's fucking strange.
So I did not like Redbubble for that reason. I'm like, no, I'd like to have a little bit of control over that. Thanks. Yeah,
that's makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm dying. Okay. So you picked the sketch this week, Dan.
I did pick the sketch this week.
And we're not going to talk about it.
Yeah, I don't think we need to. I think it stands on its own.
I think it does. Yeah, absolutely. What's your drink sponsor this week?
My drink sponsor is something new. I have not tasted yet.
Tell me about it.
It is from a company called the Edge Brewing Company. Where are they out of? Boise. They're local. They're a local group. It's called Off the Clock Craft Vodka Soda.
That sounds weird.
This is huckleberry flavor.
Yeah, of course. Good.
And they also have orange.
Well done.
It's 0 sugar, no carbs, gluten-free. All I care about is the no sugar part.
Sure.
So they're local.
All
I hadn't looked at that. So
sounds good.
I just got it from Albertsons. So
yeah.
So let's pop this.
When we're next in person together, we really should just do a whole. I know for a long time we talked about doing a root beer party. And I still am committed to that idea. But I would like to do a whole like huckleberry flavored tasting thing because it's the best flavor of anything. It's
so good. All right, I'm gonna try it now.
All right,
you ready? Is the world ready for this? Are you all ready? Y'all ready for this? It's also, I think it's a seltzer too, so it's got a little bit, like a LaCroix-ish timbre. Is that the right?
Sure, it is now. It is. If you can say something has notes of something, you can say your drink has a timbre.
That's fair enough. I think that's true. It's pretty good. It's not as like subtle of a flavor as LaCroix. Like it doesn't taste like someone shouted a flavor from the other room.
Yeah, right. That's good.
Definitely tastes like huckleberry. There's something about it that's. I'm having a hard time placing what it is.
Okay.
Like this, not even an after. It's a during taste. But it's like, I don't know if maybe it's the vodka part of it. But it's like, you know how if you have a sound and you've got this white noise that just fills in the middle of that sound. So anything in that middle area of sound, you can't really hear that well.
Yeah.
That's what I'm tasting.
Okay.
It's like my drink has white noise in the flavor, and I'm not sure what that is, and I don't know if it's just the huckleberry or if it's the vodka part of it, and they'll all taste like this. So I'll have to try the oranges sometime.
Three weird things together. Huckleberry and vodka makes sense, sort of. Huckleberry and seltzer.
It's almost like it loses flavor when I swallow.
That's
that's what it's weird.
I'm just having iced tea today. I can't have any alcohol. I could.
It's really weird. Because like it has a little bit of fizz and bite when it's in my mouth, and then I go to swallow it, and it's like it just goes, no, we're chalk now.
That's weird. I don't know what to make of that. I have some iced Earl Grey. I had 2 beers. I drank
It's
during
vodka
drinking game
o'clock.
rehearsal.
I'll be joining the Zoom meeting with my camera off.
Okay. Is it say that on the beer? On the drink?
Yeah, this little 50s.
It actually mentions Zoom meetings. This is almost like this is going to be a relic of this particular time. Because as we all know, Zoom's going to go out of business the second the pandemic's over. It's in their best interest, really.
Honestly, it's not, because everyone is going, you know what?
Yeah,
I can work from home.
Yeah, and it's
Weird.
also so much more convenient than Skype. I've never had Skype function well.
In Portland, they're moving the QC because in order to hire people there now, in a position like that, which is basically accounting and call center, you need to say, yeah, you can work from home.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, everyone else is doing it now.
Yeah.
And so they won't take your job. They'll be like, no, I don't need it.
It's fair.
So, and I can see that happening on, like, in some of the TikTok videos I'm seeing now that are coming out from, like, an HR perspective. That's happening.
Yeah.
Like, people are saying, nah, I quit then. Fuck you.
Honestly, I like that there's a little bit more autonomy. There's a little bit more in people's hands. Not everybody's, but a little bit.
Well, I mean, also just the whole disabled thing where they're like, oh, you can't, if you can't work here if you're disabled. If you can't work from home. You have to be here.
Yeah.
Really, because for the last year, everyone's been working from home, and it seems to be functioning perfectly fine.
It's a very good point.
That's actually been a huge thing on disabled Twitter that I've been seeing is just
I mean, if
they're saying, look at this, fuck you.
If I'm working a day job, I will tell you, like, one of the reasons I didn't show up, like, I don't have a severe disability, but my hip dysplasia does fuck me so much that like I can't get out of bed. But if I had a job where there were urgent things and I had to be in bed with a laptop, I could function.
Exactly.
So I've missed more work from hip dysplasia problems, real and imagined, than anything else, just about. So
well, I think for a lot of people too, you have like the social issue, like the mental social issues that people have. Xenophobia, not xenophobia, agoraphobia.
Hey, I know what you meant, and I went with it. Everybody,
I needed to correct that one right away. Like people have just a general mental disorder, like xenophobia. They hate the Asians and the Jews and the Arabs. That typical mental illness that a lot of people have. That's perfectly fine. No, that's not what I meant.
Nope, that is not.
That is not what I meant.
That's true. I mean, it will be enabling more people to do more shit if indeed that is within their their thing.
Well, there's people like Kimberly. Kimberly has a crippling fear of elevators.
Oh, okay.
Luckily in Boise, that's not a big deal. But someone say in L.A. or New York City, like that can become a thing. That can become a problem. I can't go up to the 25th floor of this building. I can't walk that, and I can't take the elevator because I have a legit fear, a phobia. Yeah. It's not just, oh, no, I don't like elevators. No.
Right.
And so those people would not be able to work at that job.
Dan, did you know that you have been to the city with Wyoming's only escalator?
No, which one's that one?
Casper, Wyoming has the only, I believe it, they say, or sorry, it has 2 now, technically 4, but they're counting the one as the down and the up separately together as one. So there's 4 escalators in Casper, in all of Wyoming, and they're all in Casper, if I remember correctly. So it's a very weird thing about Wyoming. I mean, it's small. It's itty bitty.
It really is. It's very much small.
Dan, should we talk about this sketch that you decided we should watch?
Yeah, sure.
We've watched one before.
I mean, it's a sketch at least.
We did a lot of these in a row.
We always did a lot of whatever's in a row.
Yeah, and at this
that's
point
just our thing, man. When we were kids,
was this I think this is the RCA camera from my dad's work, and it had a light on it. We were like, "Whoa, this is
that way
cops."
Hey, step right over here. I just had the one. Step right over here. I just had the one. I'm not intoxicated. All right, just stay right there. Okay. Run. No, you're not. Right. Get in there.
Real funny guy there, Punk. All right.
You got the camera if you want to drive.
Yeah. All right.
Obviously, these guys have had way too many beers tonight.
To the police department.
We're gonna
keep your mouth shut right now.
We're gonna put them in jail probably.
I can't put up with this.
At least give them some tickets.
Shut up, all right?
Take them to court.
Now. Shut up, all right? I'm an officer of the law. I don't have to put up with any of this. You two are drunk. You two
They've
are
had a
legally
lot too many
drunk.
beers.
You're going back. You're going illegally drunk.
Well,
I'm legally drunk.
it was legal.
When did the X-Files cops episode come out too?
Oh my God, that's a good question. X-Files
X-Files
cops episode. I can't.
2000. So it was like
2000,
4
okay.
years after that.
Okay, yeah. So we're really ahead of our
We
ahead
really
of the trend. Like just, it's cops is one of those things that if you live in rural America, you're just you're aware of it. And I feel like to me, cops were a foreign concept because Lawrence didn't have a police department.
No, it did not.
If you needed the cops, you had to call them from Oneonta, which is a town over.
Yeah, probably sent the state troopers. most
Oh yeah,
likely.
right. No, yeah, good call.
Or the marshal. Did we have a marshal?
I don't know.
I know a lot of places like it's a chief of police, and then the marshal's in charge of the state troopers.
It was roughly basically Mayberry, except not nearly as nice. The
People still bathed in the water tower, but
Where do we get our water from? I literally have no idea where we got our water from in upstate.
probably
New York.
Oneonta.
Probably, very much so. That makes sense. But this is a loosely a parody or just what do we call this?
I don't think it's a parody. I think we were just like we were exploring a concept,
Yeah,
the cops concept.
right.
Like we were drunk, and so there was some silliness out of that. But as cops, you played it as seriously as you could,
Sure.
right?
Seriously, it's like a 17-year-old or a 16-year-old, as I was, could. Like with a long hair and a beard. It's the intro.
Undercover cop arresting people for.
The thing is, we got two
Unmarked
drunk
car.
drivers up the road. They've already stopped. Let's go up, see what's going on there. And like, I keep trying to lay all the groundwork for why we're not in cop uniforms. Why you're already stopped.
Also, I want to point out.
What
year was this, Jay?
96.
How old were you in '96, Jay?
I was 16.
So how old did you have to be to get your license for the first time, Jay?
Oh yeah, but I didn't actually get it till I was 19. However, I would have had my permit. by then. Yeah, for sure.
And I have a feeling that's why you had to drive the car 20 feet down the driveway.
Yeah, very much so. I was very excited to eventually get my license and thought I'd get it right away. I don't know why it was 19 till I got it. I mean, I know that I failed one test because I think I drove down a one-way street.
Oh, I remember you telling me about that
Yeah,
one.
I'm pretty sure I did that on my driver's test.
Yeah.
The first one. And then Mike's like, Mike is the one handling the camera. He's the other cop. I hope they don't give us a high-speed chase or anything today. That's what he says. I hope they don't give us a high-speed chase or anything. And the best part is, like, at some point, even though the light is very pointed and we're trying to hide the house, you can see the house at some point. You can see the barn at some point.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, when they're running up the driveway, you can see they're just running up a driveway towards the church across an actual street.
Yeah. And then we start the car up again. This is our undercover car. This is our
it's unmarked vehicle,
so stupid.
which is often used very safe for the people that we arrested to throw them into the back of an unmarked car with unmarked police officers. Really, there's a subtext here that's way more sinister than intended.
Really is. There's also
but the implications.
The car we're in is something that nobody sees anymore. Nobody would see anymore. There may not even be many used cars with this in it. But the belt on a slider thing, that thing has not existed for over 20 years.
I know. It probably cut too many people's heads off.
Probably.
I hated
right?
that. Hated that so much.
And it was just, I guess it was supposed to be like a nanny seatbelt, so that there's no way you couldn't put it on, which I get, but it was not a good system. I don't know that it was safe. They could come out.
What probably came from it is, I'm already wearing my seatbelt.
Yeah.
Cops probably hated it because they couldn't. Like, the important one is the one that goes across your waist.
Yeah.
Right? Having just the one here, not good enough.
No.
So cops couldn't tell if you were buckled.
Yeah, that's
People
fair.
would probably be like, I'm it closed around me. I'm buckled.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, so it probably ended up being a safety issue.
Mm-hmm. So we pull up to our custom van that we owned. First, again, I don't know why my parents bought it other than to go down to Disney World, and then we never used it after that. It's very weird. It makes it sound like my parents are rich. I don't know how this kind of stuff happened. I don't know how they bought a van and then just left it there. They just didn't take care of it. But either way, it's there.
It's called going into debt.
Yeah. You and Gribnish are in there. You are just drunking it up, and it is very funny. This is 2 weeks in a row we've had sketches where you played drunk, and it's, I don't know, it makes me...
right? And I had any idea how that really worked.
Oh, I should have looked closer, too, because I'm pretty sure what's in your hand. It's obviously not a beer, but I was trying to spot what kind of a soda you had in your hand. If it was like not a Sam's Club, whatever the Walmart. What's a Walmart? Oh, it is Sam's Club, right?
It's Sam's Club, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull that up because I'm guessing it's a Walmart soda or something. I don't know.
Probably we drank a lot of those back then.
Yeah. Oh God, they tasted like candy soda, right? It didn't taste real.
Not really. No, it didn't taste. I mean, they were trying to recreate the flavor without breaking any sort of like trade laws, right? So,
God, but they're so bad. There's no the fake colas.
I don't know. I thought I liked Mr. Pibb better than.
Yeah, you're a Pibb pumper.
I'm a Pibb. That's not. No.
Is that not it?
No.
The word I was thinking of, by the way, is booster, but there's no version of booster that starts with a P. And I said pumper. Dan does not fuck cans of Mr. Pibb, for the record. I mean, as far as I know. Dan's not responding, so I guess
I'm looking to see why they stopped doing them.
Oh, okay, that's fair. What I'm going to look here is try and see what kind of a delicious soda you're drinking. Well, so much of Mike's shooting in this, by the way, is like shooting the dash. And Mike knew how to use a camera, but he's like shooting the dash for some reason. Like it's not the best camera
I don't think it's illegal, but it ended up just being considered a bad idea because, for one, it wasn't fully automatic because you had to buckle the lower belt. So what was even the point? A lot of people would just remove the seatbelt from the top.
Sure.
So they didn't have to deal with the automated thing that kept choking them. And it was incompatible with child safety seats or special mods. So it just was overall one of the worst ideas ever made for car things, apparently.
I didn't make a note. I forgot you're wearing a Taz hat. I'm
wearing my Taz hat. I wear that a lot. And my black trench coat.
I don't know the name of this, Dan, but it is an Adirondack soda of some kind. I'd forgotten that Adirondack was a brand of soda. I'm guessing that's like Price Chopper brand or some shit, probably.
Must have been something at your house because I don't think we ever bought those.
Well, and I worked at Price Chopper, so there's a half chance that's where I got it.
That's a fair point.
Probably at zero discount. I don't remember getting any kind of a discount.
5-finger discount? Is that what you're saying?
Oh my gosh, no. I would have been too afraid to steal. Yeah, Adirondack Cola. There we go. I remember that. Again, all I see when I see that is like the taste of like chalky drink, which is not, or super sweet, gross drink. I haven't had a Pibb in a while. I should try. I like most variations on Dr. Pepper, so Mr. Pibb is probably good. And you just say, "May I help you, officer?" and just laugh, and then.
Well, I tell you, don't I say, "Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute," and then I say, "May I help you?"
That's
officer?
Right, you do. And Gribnish says, "I've got a gun."
And then I'm like, "Yeah, she's got a gun.
She's gonna shoot you," and then she runs off. I make a note, broke something of Dan's. So is there something you were holding? What did I break that you were like, we got a little extra physical with you because you were, you were a sport. What does it say? Why did I say that what did we break? I mean, is it it's your watch? Does your watch break off? Is that what happens? Something like that. It looks like your watch.
I don't even remember noticing that.
Yeah, you try and fix something. You're like trying to stay in character, but you're also like, what the fuck? One of my shits is broken. After that happens, Mike catches Gribnish. She runs away again. When we get you in the car, "I'll lock these doors so you can't get out," is what Mike says, because he's just telegraphing everything he does.
Yeah.
You think to fake puke at one point. You do a good fake puke noise. Then we switch out the cameras so I can drive again. So we switch because we have switched who's holding the cameras when we're arresting everybody. Let's see here. And I get very coppish. And I'm like, keep your mouth shut. And
I know. I was watching that going, okay, well, I'm going to get shot by the end of this.
I know.
Sesh.
One of us, probably Mike, says we're going to give them some tickets and take them to court. It's just the word choice of our young, dumb minds.
Not truly understanding how these things worked.
Oh no, that's why
all.
I say I am an officer of the law. I don't have to put up with any of this. Again, the mantra of 2020 and 2021.
Yeah, right. I'm sure 2022 as well.
It doesn't close on this moment, but it should. I say you're illegally drunk, and Groupnish says, illegally drunk? I'm legally drunk. It's one of the funniest things I've ever heard. It's like such a good lie. I was telling my wife, I'm like, that's I couldn't write that good of a line now. Is this the problem? My family, I won't say my family, but my sister is funnier than I am. There's no doubt about it. And I get jealous every time which means, so she's 12 in this video. And again, funnier than anything that I'm doing. And it makes me jealous and sad and angry. Do you remember shooting these at all? I mean, I know it's a generic thing.
I remember doing things with the van. Mm-hmm. I don't remember this exact one specifically.
Okay. Adirondack Beverages. Dan sent me a link to what the Adirondack. Their logo's not that different from what it was in the 90s. Now I'm curious what Adirondack Cola in the 1990s looked like. I would like a better. Oh, nothing. You can't.
They
type
have them
in
at
cola.
Whole Food. They have their seltzers at Whole Food.
Oh, really?
Price Chopper still around? I thought they were done, though.
Am I on crack? Is it was a Price Chopper brand? Is that right?
Yeah, it still is.
Wow. I pulled that out of my butthole.
As well as Hannaford.
Who does Hannaford own? I can't remember what brands we have there that they don't have out here or what have you. Because, like, Kroger, I don't know.
Stop and Shop.
What does Kroger own on the East Coast? Is that what this episode's going to become? Because Kroger...
Walmart apparently sells the seltzers and waters.
Interesting. Okay, Kroger.
But I know you want the sodas. That's what's important.
I'm most curious about those. Wait, what is that? Okay, yeah. So Kroger owns the following: Baker's, City Market, Dillon's, Food for Less, Foods Co., Fred Meyer, which is Michigan-ish, Fry's, Gerby's.
We have a Fred Meyer's here.
Oh, do you? Okay, so
yep,
they're
all
Fred
over
Meyer.
the place.
Oh, I'm thinking of Meyer. Never mind. Fred Meyer is over there. Fry's, Gerby's, Harris Teeter, King
Fry's
Supers.
is gone.
Is it? Oh. JC Food Store, Kroger, Payless Supermarkets, QFC, Ralph's, and Smith's Food and Drug. So that's what Kroger owns. None of those.
Seems like they only really sell the sodas on the East Coast.
Interesting. Got Adirondack. Then there's New York Seltzer. Is that what's the New York fucking what's the one? Because you got the reboot of the New York drink. What was it? Or is it clear? No, clearly Canadian is different. What's the New York Seltzer? Is it just called New York Seltzer?
Yeah.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah, they did. It has like the same labeling and everything.
That's so funny.
They didn't change any of that.
Most poisonous, wasteful labeling. That kind of cool 70s deco font. Like 70s, like bringing back deco. It's a weird. Oh, yeah, cream soda. That's the one I remember the most, where I was like, do I like cream soda or not? I couldn't tell. I still don't know if I like cream soda or not. How do you feel?
It seems like at this juncture, it's the only place that sells their actual soda is Hannaford.
Okay. Interesting.
Price Chopper sells their seltzers, their flavored waters, and whatever Waste Watcher is.
New York Seltzer makes blueberry soda. I feel like I should point that out. And raspberry soda. That sounds good. Okay, where do you stand on cream soda, Dan? Do you like?
I like cream soda.
Okay. What do you like about it? Because again, I don't know if I like it or not.
I like that it's got kind of. I mean, I like the cream flavor of it, and that it's kind of lighter than root beer. I put them in the same category, which I think a lot of people do. I I think I had it in a float before, and it's really good in a float.
Oh, that sounds good. I think I've had some like off-brand ones that tasted too chemically, and maybe that has turned.
Yeah,
me
I don't
off
really
of them.
drink like the cheap ass cream sodas. If I get it, I'm getting like the
A&W
Henry
or something?
Weinhardt or one of
okay.
those ones, like made from actual ingredients and not just fake stuff.
Right. I didn't tell you that I finally got us a 12-pack of A&W zero sugar, and holy shit, it's perfect. It's a perfect drink.
It's great.
Yeah,
I had that for dinner tonight.
it's so good. It's so good. We
And
bought
the zero
2 of
sugar
them.
Canada Dry is good too.
Oh yeah, I got to try that too, because a good. Now ginger ale's a weird one too, because depending on where you go, I feel like it's a different concept.
Different ginger ales are very different in flavor. I like the word I just said, the brand I just said.
Henry Weinhardt?
No.
No. Canada
one-
Dry.
Yeah.
Canada Dry. No,
Canada
that's
Dry.
that's very good.
That seems to be my preference one, which is why I really liked the Henry's Hard Soda Ginger Ale, because it tasted just like Canada Dry.
Oh, okay. That's fair. I like a really strong ginger beer if it's a good one, but I still mostly am a ginger ale person. Although, have you ever had Werner's ginger ale?
Have I had Werner's Ginger Ale?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
So the wife is from the area of the country where they make it, which is Michigan. It's owned by a national brand. I think it might be owned by A&W even. It's weird.
I've seen Werner's. I've not had it.
It's more candy-ish to me. Now, I could be misremembering, or you never know. Maybe I had a bad batch when I've had it. But I feel like it's very like a super sweet, like beyond sweet, too hard to drink for me sweet, maybe.
It's
and
really,
I remember.
It's definitely like the color.
You see
like,
the color is like.
Like, I haven't had enough water today.
Yeah, that's where I thought you were going. I am willing to try it because, again, the in-laws love it, so I don't want to reject it out of hand. But I just remember...
So, I mean, just this picture alone is like, looks like you just found that underneath someone's bed or something.
Yeah, that's... Yeah, if you didn't...
That's dark.
That
that's
is
brewed.
that hurt coming out.
Yeah.
It possibly had some mass to it beyond...
Right, yeah, like that's a chewy pea right there.
It came out like toothpaste.
You can cut that with a knife.
You bring it to the urologist. Like, well, okay.
Well,
Okay.
I'll cut you off a wedge, I guess. Put it on the side of the glass. Or the pea cup.
Jesus Christ. This is disgusting. Oh, boy. But, yeah, I mean, it doesn't... You know what's so funny is now we talk about it in that context. I'm like, oh, it tastes pretty good compared to what we just talked about. So, like, it doesn't taste like dehydrated
really,
piss.
really dry piss.
Mm-hmm. So now I'm like, maybe Werner's wouldn't be too bad right now.
I'd rather drink that than my piss.
Yeah. There's no
Werner's.
doubt about it.
Rather drink it than piss.
Now you're making me think of an episode of Detroiters that I don't want to spoil. I would like you to watch a couple
I need
episodes
to
of
do that.
Detroiters and tell me what you think.
I'll have to do that. I
Just
keep
because
forgetting
the
about
whole
it.
show is about ad guys, and I will just tell you, I think it's the second episode. It might be that soon in. It's a few episodes in where they get pitched. The security guard in their building keeps trying to pitch things to them, and at some point he accidentally gets a meeting to pitch. And the pitch meeting is the most disturbing, upsetting things, and just the type of thing you just said is roughly the kind of yeah. And I can't even prepare you for how dumb and good it is. And then when you also any commercial that gets made on that show is generally based on something they've seen on local TV. And
Yeah, you mentioned that, and I
So
100% believe it based on local TV that we've seen. And we
Yeah.
certainly didn't have the environment that Detroit has.
And after watching it with my wife, I had to also be like, okay, well, let me see. What can I find that's local? And I couldn't find anything really. But then I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I can at least show you
Forever Leather, tonight's good
So
shit.
I had to. They post them every week on their YouTube.
I can't believe they still are going.
Yeah, he's still doing it, and he rants like a motherfucker every once in a while. He'll have some political
I think
thoughts.
that's hilarious. As a kid, I don't think I realized that that show was more than just showing off jackets.
Yeah. This is like
The thing about freaking Hillary Clinton was hilarious.
Well, the funniest
and that he had a stand-up that he ripped off the wall in anger because she wasn't helping. Like,
you know what's so funny is like I'm so used to though like the fuck her, she's a dog, she's a whore, she's a piece of shit, I hate Hillary. I was like, oh, this guy's reasonable by comparison to how most people talk about Hillary Clinton.
Because it sounds like he was a supporter, but he's mad that she kind of let it just kind of slide.
Yeah,
and isn't helping people.
That's
and
a reasonable concern.
That is how people should be mad at their representatives, because that is her job.
That's the weird thing about upstate New York, man. You can't quite peg like who's, because you assume it's going to go down a dark rabbit hole, and you're like, oh no, he might actually be kind of liberal. He's just angry that his points of view are not being represented. It's like, that's an American thing. That's fine. You guys should look that up. Look up Forever Leather, Tonight's Good Show, and also which again it's rolling out of my mouth as though that's a normal thing to say. The Forever Leather, Tonight's Good Show. And I remember the first time
he doesn't say Forever Leather, Tonight's Good Show.
No.
It's Forever Leather, Tonight's Good Show. That's how he says it. Thanks for watching Forever Leather, Tonight's Good Show.
Can we get him on the podcast?
I'd love to get him on the podcast. I'd love to talk to that guy.
I'm going to try again to get some of the DJs we listen to on the show, because one of them was interested, but then like it dropped off the map. I just feel like there are some upstate New York icons.
Just say we've had Dan Gore on there, so you're at his level.
Yeah, exactly.
That'll make him come on.
You will be at the level of the man who created Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and come on, folks. You're welcome to come on if you're a cool upstate New Yorker. Can I tell you how, Dan, I am so lost finding Michael Gordon, creator of Boy with a Rat's Brain. Nothing.
Maybe he got married and changed his name.
I mean, you know what? It's 2021. Everything's happening. Who knows what? I got this. I got that. I got my pronouns. Who knows what's happening? That's my new character.
We got pronouns 50% off. Come get your pronouns.
Come get your pronouns here. He's got a thing, she's got a thing. They're both married and they both don't know what they got the gender reveals. I'm revealing my gender. What? I don't even know.
Sure, you can burn down the forest with a gender reveal and they'll fine you $30,000. I reveal my gender and I have to spend the night in lockup.
Hey! Let me tell you.
Because I took out my penis and showed it to a bunch of ladies on the bus stop. I have to legally tell people that now every time I meet them.
A stand-up comic who also has to make sure legally he has to. So that's the caveat. He doesn't have to go around to houses and tell them.
No, but he has to tell his audience every night.
It's beautiful. I gotta say, I'm working.
Thanks. That was my time. I'm Bobby, and I'm a sexual predator.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Wait, is that a bit?
It's got to be a bit.
There's
no
bit,
way,
right, guys? That's a bit.
It's a comedy show, so that wasn't a.
He's handing out a paper we have to sign saying that that he told us. I don't think it's a bit, guys.
I'm not comfortable signing this. Is that right? Sign a fake name. Doesn't really matter.
Mary?
I'm just letting you know. Ow! Oh, I fucking ran into the cat tree. I'm going to get milkshakes with Shannon.
Give me one. Peanut
Jay
butter
wants
chocolate.
one.
Peanut butter
Jay
chocolate.
and I both want peanut butter chocolate.
Okay. But the dogs are up to you.
Okay.
God damn it! I want a peanut butter chocolate shake so bad. Oh my god! I gotta.
She's going to Sanic.
Oh, okay. We don't have those around here. There is one, but it's in like Pasadena. It's like too far to bother with.
We've got like two right down the street from us.
Oh my god! Oh, their shit's so good.
There's one on U-Stick. They closed earlier though, and then there's one down on Orchard. I think it is the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Near the Thai place that we always order food from.
Yeah. I like the awkwardness of the bit ending and nobody realized. God damn it. Oh, that's beautiful, Dan. That's too funny.
That's what we do on this show. It's all comedy all the time.
What's new with you, Dan? We haven't talked about ourselves.
I spent a day in Portland.
Oh yeah, let's talk about Portland.
Yeah, that was the end of that was an experience.
Yeah.
It was a good trip overall. It was exhausting. It was a 16-hour day because I had to fly out on the red eye. So I got to the airport at 6 a.m.
But do you get paid for the full situation until you land, kind of thing?
Yep.
Okay.
Because I don't need to be doing those things unless they told me to. So
yeah,
we set the precedent years ago that when we're traveling, we're paid for pretty much every minute except when I'm like in a hotel sleeping.
Sure.
But if I'm driving somewhere or anything, that's part of the pay.
Good.
Then they don't have to pay mileage. It's actually probably ends up being cheaper for them in some ways. And
I
in
see.
other ways.
I see. Right.
But I mean, there's overtime. It probably isn't, but for me, it's better anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So flew out there. Went to Milwaukee, which is in southern Portland.
Okay. Is this a
then-
neighborhood of Portland? Is this what
Basically,
you're-
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like southeast of Portland proper.
Okay.
Went there and walked around the building. It was actually really good. I'm glad I was there because there were some decisions being made that we were able to kind of make recommendations that will make things easier for everybody, but especially IT.
Okay. Good.
And then I was there to meet so we went through our tech partner, and they have a local company in Portland that they work through for doing things like wiring and installation of equipment so that we don't necessarily have to send someone down there to set up the location.
Okay.
We can go through this third party. We've never done this before with this kind of company, so we don't know if it's going to be cost prohibitive or not. But it turns out he can actually do a lot of low voltage stuff for other things too, because they were going to want an automatic door for wheelchairs. They wanted a keypad in the back. And he's like, I can do that. I can rewire the alarm system that's already in place so that you can hook it up to whatever your system is, all that kind of stuff. So
okay.
It sounds like he's going to be good for everybody involved. And they had the electrician there, and they traded cards right away, so that was super cool. It's like, I think he's going to be really good and a good partner. So that was good. And then I drove up to the store, had to plug in some new equipment in preparation for the move, and then I kind of hung out there for a while. I went to B-Dubs for lunch. That was fun. That was yummy. And then, went to the airport around. I accidentally left an hour early because I was looking at my laptop clock and not my phone. So I was like, I should probably head over to the airport around 5 because my flight leaves at like 7:45. So if I leave at 5, get there around 5:30, get through security, give me time to eat, whatever, blah, blah. So I'm almost to the airport and realize, I'm on mountain time on my laptop. It's only 4. Well, that'll give me plenty of time to eat whatever. So, because I had to return the car by 5:45. So I was like, I leave at 5. It's fine. So I left at 4 technically. It's like, why isn't the store closing up? Don't they close at 5? That's weird. Because I asked them, is the door still open? And the customer walked in. I'm like, I guess it is. Now I know why, because they still had an hour left of work. Anyway, so I go there and I'm hanging out. I didn't have, because I have the new phone that doesn't have fucking headphone jack in it, and somewhere between getting out of the car at the Boise airport and walking into the Boise airport, I lost a Bluetooth adapter I had for my headphones.
No.
So I kept visiting all the different stores in the places trying to see if anyone had a Bluetooth adapter. I actually stopped by Target because I'm like, I got time now to stop by Target.
Yeah.
And they didn't have anything. I did capture some videos. I'll have to send them to you. They're all maybe 10 seconds long, like 8 of them. Yes, so you might have a minute worth of video. Woohoo! So that was disappointing. But then I get there and I'm like, figuring out where get through security. I'm like, okay, which gate do I do? Because they're doing construction, which means you actually have 2 different sets of security depending on which gates you need to go to. So I wanted to make sure I went the right direction. I didn't want to go to C gates. And I can't get to B gate from there, and then I have to go back out and through. It's annoying. So then I'm walking through, and I'm like walking past a food court, and I'm like, oh shit, they have a mod pizza here. I totally forgot about that. Well, I'm going to go swing by that. I saw a sound place when I got here, so I'm going to go check them out real quick to see if they have a Bluetooth adapter. Spoiler alert, They didn't.
What the fuck? It's a small thing. They cost like $10 on Amazon. You would think that would be a thing.
They have them at Walmart.
Oh yeah. So
there's no Walmarts that were in town. It's one of those
Okay.
things with
Okay.
towns like Portland and LA. You don't really have ones nearby. You have to kind of go to
Right.
the fringes. And I wasn't doing that.
although they have one in Burbank now, right? Did I?
Do
tell
they
you
now?
that? Yeah. Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah. I know.
So then I'm like, okay, well, let's go about pizza. And so I go and I'm in line and I order my pizza and I'm standing, I'm waiting. And then this guy comes up and, he's the guy who like puts the pizza in the pizza boxes. Mm-hmm. And so he's putting stuff in the pizza boxes while I'm paying for my order with another guy. And he looks over and he's like, oh, I like that show. And he walks away. And I'm like, wait, I look down and I'm wearing my Of Dice and Dents shirt. And I'm like, what?
So this is in Portland, just to confirm.
This is in
right?
Portland.
Okay,
and
that's
I'm
the
like,
weirder part.
that's my show. That's my show. I'm like, what? But they're very busy. It's the airport, right?
Sure.
And it's dinner time.
Yeah.
And so he walked away and he was doing more stuff. So I'm sitting there going, did he legit say what I thought he said? Like, I'm just sitting there like, and then so he starts, the line kind of disappears and he's getting ready to put my pizzas in the box, and he's like, as he comes over, he's like, did you say that's your show? And I'm like, yeah, I'm the DM. And he's like, oh man, that's awesome, I love that show, my friends play D&D on Tuesdays, I love listening to it. He's like, we don't record it, of course, we just play. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, oh man, I wish I had time, we could talk. I'm like, me too. Like, how did you find out we exist?
Yeah, that's what I'm always curious
that's
about.
my biggest question. But that was super cool.
Great.
I had seen big circles over Portland on my little maps, but now there's like a face to some of those circles. It's weird.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah. Oh, he said I didn't know they had merch, is what he said. And I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
So I'm going to have to kind of crack that whip a little bit better.
Mention it in the show, Dan. Just do a little break or something at the end, What's his name again?
His name is Lucas.
Lucas. I know he doesn't listen to this show, but Lucas, hi. We'll get him to listen to this show. And now we have to name an NPC after Lucas.
I think so.
I think it's absolutely necessary. That's so
Well,
funny.
a bunch of new people just moved into your little town you started in, so that works perfectly.
Yeah, right? That's so funny. I've had that happen twice with a drinking game, and it's the strangest thing. Be like, hey, are you in the drinking game? It's like, that sounds like I'm making fun of the people. I'm making fun of myself for it being a big deal at all in my brain. But, I think somebody at Target or Starbucks or something was like, oh, wait, you've seen this fucking show? Like, I would consider it a hit show because it sells out all the time, but it is small. Like, they're intentionally small shows. It's like 99 seat and under so that they don't have to do equity or whatever.
Right.
So it's weird. That's pretty good.
And I knew that it had to be because I was like, is he mistaking us for because there's a Of Dice and Men show and stuff. I'm like, no, because the thing he would see most is either our logo or the picture, because it's the picture shirt.
Oh yeah, right.
Right. So I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and it's a great picture. It's so good.
I love that picture.
I was even better. He made me buy some shirts from my own show, which I hadn't done yet. It's I
need to restock up on stuff.
Yeah,
I need to see what options they have now, because a lot of stuff is no longer available, but then they always add new materials.
Is there
the one the best one was this American Apparel shirt, but they stopped having that in the shop.
Those are the comfiest shirts on the
those planet. That's the black one I have. That's super comfy. That has the big logo. It doesn't crumble as much. The logo didn't, and it was just so comfy. And then I was wearing it when I was building the catio, and I was reaching over, and apparently just the fencing all just poked holes all through it.
Sucks hard.
Sucks super hard.
I mean, that's no good. That sucks. Wasn't there one? Well, I think you have it. Does the hoodie have an embroidered thing on it?
Yeah, it's embroidered. I was wearing that too, actually.
Can you buy just the logo as a patch or something? Do they make those or no?
I didn't see that as a thing, but I haven't seen what their products options are lately.
I do have a company you could reach out to try and get some free patches, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I did a promo deal, and it was basically if you put an ad up on your website, we will give you so many free patches No, actually, not so many. They're like, how many do you need? And I said, and I think the total I came out with was like 20, and it's like 4 or 5 different designs total.
Dang.
So it's like 20 all across the board, like, so not 20 of each, but 20 total.
Oh, they've added so many things.
Really? I'll send you the link to
They
these
didn't
people.
really have accessories before, and now they do. I can freaking do tote bags and laptop cases, duffel bags, drawstring bags, fanny packs, backpacks, iPhone and Samsung cases.
That's pretty great.
This jewelry? What?
All right.
Socks?
That's pretty great.
That's actually pretty great. Face mask. Of course they added face
Yeah, of
masks.
course.
Why do I not have fucking... I need to make face masks, like, right away.
I'd like very
Shit.
much to know what the socks look like, because if there's one thing that I'm a whore for, it's socks, like in terms of
Looks
clothing.
like they're not... Was it... Like, they come... Like, they're above the ankle. Like,
yeah.
They're like, what, crew? Is that what that's called? Like, taller?
Mm-hmm.
Not like all the way to your knees, like halfway. And looks like it's black feet,
Mm-hmm.
and then the whole white area you can put something on.
Okay.
So basically everything above the ankle can be decorated.
That's kind of
It
cool.
looks like. Keychains.
Keychains. Ooh. Do they have like
They're
what's the
engraved.
word? Oh, they're engraved. Okay.
Oh, and a pet ID tag.
That's
you
pretty
could do-
adorable.
It seems like a very niche thing to flip flop, so you can put decoration in the flip flop. So if you want it under people's feet, there you go.
It's really funny.
Man, anything else? Collections. Fulfilled in Spain. Oh, I see. That's what that is. Water bottles, coffee mugs. Oh, they're turning into cafe press. This is kind of awesome. Posters. You can actually do posters now.
Except
They
they
didn't have
actually
that
do,
before.
quality stuff, which is a bonus.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Stationery. Beanbag chairs.
What? That sounds amazing. Welcome to Merch Corner, everybody. Dan and Jay's Comedy Hours Merch Corner.
I have stickers. That's the only thing they really had like that before.
Yeah.
Blankets? What? What?
Dan's like a kid in a
It's
blanket
$25
store.
for blanket. A 50 by
Okay.
60 blanket. That's
What? Okay, that's really
that's,
cheap.
that's a little bit more of a throw, right? Because 60
Yeah.
is 5 feet
Right.
by like
yeah, so it's 3.
a little more than
and
4
some by-
feet.
Yeah, but
So that's like a couch blanket.
mm-hmm.
Fuck
That's not bad
yeah.
at all.
Yeah, it says throw blanket. Duh.
That's pretty great. That's very good.
Water bottles, coffee mugs. Oh, and this is the same fucking water bottle that Norco has. It's exactly the same. Ari would totally use this because this is the exact water bottle she uses.
That's awesome. I'm trying to
That's
think.
awesome. I have work to do, you guys. I've got work to do.
Yeah, you do.
So what is this for? Oh, patches. Okay, cool. I will
Yeah,
check
yeah,
that
yeah.
out.
That's the template that I sent to them, and like I said, I got like 20 patches. Yeah, as long
I-
as you,
yeah,
basically
for
as long as
sure.
you keep an ad on your fucking website forever, then they don't give a shit. They're fine with it. If they still have the same deal, which I think they do. It's part of their.
Yeah, I had an ad up on my website forever just for the email spam filter I used.
Oh, okay.
It required you to have an ad on your page.
Oh, okay. Well, fuck it. Who
Now that
cares?
I moved it all to Google, I don't need that anymore. But I still haven't removed the link, so it's still
Right,
there. Now they're just getting free advertising.
Those bastards. I'm trying to think what I did
Embroidered
this week.
aprons and towels. Hold on. It has a pocket.
Dan's very excited.
I'm super excited. Like, I could totally take, like, some of those Hero Forge bodies that we made for all our characters and put them on an apron, like the whole, like,
That's
man
true.
and lady aprons.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Have a what's-his-name apron.
I mean, I'd buy it. I mean, I've been. By the way, like, there's a half a
Sublimate.
chance.
What does sublimated towel mean?
Sublimation is fuck, how does it work? It's a heat press thing. It's got to do with like sublimated inks are basically
Oh,
heat
so-
pressed onto the fabric. So
God, so it
basically
makes it
won't
so
come
that
off.
probably doesn't come off in the water because it's a towel.
Yeah. It's basically what it is. So it's fairly safe from.
They got
coming off.
towels. Oh, that's so cool. I'm gonna have so much of our merch.
I well, now I forgot what I was gonna say. Couldn't have been that important, could it?
What else do they fucking have? Jesus Christ!
I don't know.
They have canvas prints as well as framed posters and regular posters.
Uh-huh.
Throw pillowcases. I could sleep on us.
I'm considering
It's
for
16
Halloween.
bucks for, like, base cost, right?
Sure.
Not counting what I have to upcharge to be able to do things, but base cost 14 and 15
For what?
premium for pillowcases.
For pillowcases? That's not bad for a custom pillowcase.
It's all over print. Throw pillow, 16 or 18. Mm-hmm. Right. I usually add about $3 for the cost of the printing.
Sure.
Because that covers part of the cost of the PayPal stuff I have to do. Mm-hmm. That's so cool.
I think for Halloween, I'm gonna at least consider going as what's his name from that drawing. By the way,
nice.
I think
they have a whole bunch of different kinds of mugs. They have an enamel mug for like camping.
Dan lists off products.
That's awesome.
No, it is. I'm
very excited. I have not checked out Printful in way too long. They've got some cool shit.
I mean, this is our same excitement that got us called nerds for wanting to.
Buy some pens.
I still want to buy some pens. I wanted those click pens, but I think I wanted those click pens because they were the cheapest pens they had, if I remember correctly. They make nicer pens that are like cheaper than that now. But now I don't know what I would spend days coming up with what should actually be on the pen. I wouldn't be able to decide if it should be a logo or some funny words. You may have to help me design some pens, Dan.
I'll have to.
I mean, it could just say, "You gonna buy some pens?" ? Jeremy Inc. We could just put put him on blast on.
Just
a
put
pen.
him on blast. They still sell the hoodie, just not in the color that I bought it in, unfortunately.
Oh, bastard! Well, what did you get? Just a black
one?
one?
I got a blue.
Oh, you got a blue one, like
sea
a dark
blue.
blue, or
oh no, they still have it. Never mind. It's
okay.
Right there. Sea blue. It's a nice color. I like it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I want a blue one. How much are they? Tell me right now.
They're a little spendy. They're like $50 or $45.
Yeah, that's not so bad though. That's not so bad if it lasts, kind of thing.
The only thing that I had and I think it's because I accidentally closed it in the car door as a zipper fell off. But I think that's not a problem with the hoodie. I think that was a problem with a Dan. I think I accidentally closed it in the door and just smashed it.
These would all make.
But I mostly wear it unzipped anyway. I wear it like kind of like a windbreaker.
I need to go back and look and see what we have for Dan and Jay's Comedy Hour merch, aka stuff only I'm gonna buy. But I still need to update it. Maybe I should look at Printful. These things make delightful gifts, people.
Yeah.
Go buy some OD&D merch. Why not?
You can use Printful as like your own little store for stuff.
Yeah.
But it ties into WooCommerce and a lot of other things. Like it's designed specifically to be a back end.
Can I tell you the worst gift I ever got?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So, I can't tell you.
Yeah, you said, can I tell you? And I said, and you're just going to go ahead and do it anyway.
I thought about it. You never, okay, actually, I don't want to say you never. How much of my family did you ever meet? I know you met my grandmother because she lived in Lawrence. Did you ever meet my Grandpa Funk, my mom's dad?
Did I? I almost want to say yes.
Briefly. It would have been a situation where we brought you to a family Christmas party. I don't know. Like, I'm trying to remember how.
I think I have gone to one of those before because I had a shit family.
Yeah. And we were trying to make sure that you had something.
Exactly.
We were like, well, we love Dan. Let's bring Dan along. So there's a chance you met the chaw-chewing, fucking drunk redneck dipshit that was my Father Funk. He one year gave, he's a hunter, right? And around his house.
Most people in New York are.
Exactly. He had a lot of things. Like he would have, if you've ever been to a hunter's house, especially in upstate New York, it's mostly deer. Either the deer on the wall, of course, the head's on the wall, or like you'll have some real tacky, like a footstool with the 4 deer hooves, which he absolutely had. And that's the artful version of what you
my
get.
Uncle Frank didn't really do that. He had the antlers sometimes, but mostly he would have like really nice art of deer.
Oh, okay.
Like I've learned over the years that as far as hunters go, he really did respect the nature part of it.
Yeah.
Like he didn't use guns either.
Oh, okay.
He only ever hunted with a crossbow because he felt like that was more sporting.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure my grandfather was a truck and bullet man. One of those.
They just come on out of the woods. I shot all 18 of them, threw them in the back of my truck, and drove away. So what do you get for... Sir, those were dogs. I had antlers.
Man, wouldn't
No, that
surprise
was
me.
a leash, sir.
Yep. Would not surprise me, honestly, at all. He was a fucking drunk. So what do you give somebody for good luck? What's a typical good luck thing that you give to somebody?
A horseshoe?
Sure. Let's
Or
more
fully
along
clothed.
maybe the hunting,
The rabbit's foot?
Rabbit's foot. Right.
Yeah, that's where you're going. Gotcha.
I did not. Gribnish got a rabbit's foot.
Okay.
And now the rabbit's foot, should be noted, was attached to a rabbit's leg. I was given, and I several times wanted to know why I didn't get to go look at it outside, a deer leg. Leg of a deer. And I do not
I guess rabbit legs are much more feminine, so they really were good for Gribnish, but for you, you have to have a much more masculine leg.
And I need to point out, these were not taxidermied. These were
just legs.
Meated for snacking on. Like, what the fuck? Like, the more I think about it out loud, say it out loud, I'm like, what was I going to do with it? And what did he think?
You could have made it into a lamp like A Christmas Story.
That's the saddest end to the Rudolph story. Oh, god damn. Yeah, what was he... This is the same grandfather who also, one year, without consulting my parents, bought us 2 birds for Christmas. Yeah.
That's not good.
They went away a week or two after,
I bet.
Which, now that I'm thinking about, they probably just let them outside, right? Like, that's what you do.
But yeah, what kind of birds were they? Were they just fucking like...
small things that would have gotten eaten by a hawk immediately, so you just let them
Probably
out.
like he just like grabbed a couple robins out of a bush in his backyard, threw them in a cage, just like, kids love these.
That's exactly how he sounded.
You can feed them some deer leg.
That is every impression of him. Is rah, rah, rah. It's like my mother does the impression. And by the time we did this video that we're talking about, I had the long hair, and so my great-grandmother, his mother, who was a psycho, she would be like, "Oh, whose are those 2 girls?" referring to me and Gribnish.
Oh, you told me about that, yeah.
Yeah, and my grandfather's classic and classy response was, "One of them's got a pecker. He lives in Peckerville." That's the kind of humor that I grew up around. Lives in Peckerville. That's where I live, apparently. Live from Peckerville. Oh, you know what? Actually, let's hold on to that. That may have to make that into a podcast title. But then that's a tribute to my drunk, shitty grandfather. I don't really want to give him a tribute necessarily.
I don't. Is that a tribute though? When you're
Maybe
purposely
not.
doing it to kind of mock him?
Sure. Yeah. Live from Peckerville, hosted by somebody who's and I gotta get what I need to do is at some point, we've talked about this maybe, I need to get a picture of him for you, and then a picture of William C. Bouck, who was the state of New York's 13th governor, because we are distantly related, but not so distant, because my grandfather looked exactly like him. It's very weird, and when you see him, it's like, I don't know, if Doc Brown chewed tobacco. It's kind of what that's all I can think of.
So I just want you to know, as far as Google Maps is concerned, there is no town named Peckerville.
Oh.
But there's a lot of things, like shirts and stuff, for Peckerville.
Uh-huh. I'm assuming
Straight out of Peckerville. I must be based on something.
Maybe. Peckerville. I don't even know what's fun. No, don't show me results for Parkerville. I'm specifically looking for Peckerville.
Yeah, you have to say
much.
Peckerville, and then if you do a search for Peckerville in Google Maps, it says no results for Peckerville, showing you Parkerville.
Woodpeckers baseball.
Peckerville,
means
North
business.
Carolina, though.
Uh-huh, okay.
Choose a Peckerville design.
Yeah,
So,
I don't,
what is that then? If that doesn't come up in Google Maps, is it like maybe like a joke name or an old name maybe?
I do see something that has to do with the Fayetteville, North Carolina Woodpeckers, which is a team, apparently. So, and a lot of them seem to be related to that. So it might have something to do with that.
Peckerville, Fayetteville Woodpecker baseball team. Yep.
So that's what
the
it is.
Woodpeckers of Fayetteville, they call it Peckerville.
Oh, Peckerville. Look at you guys. Well.
And apparently it riled some feathers.
Of course it did. Well, it's fine.
Okay.
Live from Peckerville is going to happen, guys. Just keep your eyes out for that.
Yeah.
And if we can get
it's just going to
sponsored
be
by...
dudes talking about dude stuff.
Yep.
It's basically a rehashing. Can we? Oh, my God.
Oh, no. Dan. Whenever that laugh comes, I'm like, this is going to be really bad.
What we need to do.
No.
We need to get some transcriptions of fucking Joe Rogan's podcast and recreate it. Live from Peckerville.
Now, do we... All right. So, I'm betting we could get closed caption transcriptions from YouTube. Maybe. That might be a thing you can get. Yeah, all right. This is a good... And it's called Live from
He's big
Peckerville.
enough, he might have legit
That's true. That's true.
captions.
Sure. Although I also think he'd be
Someday
like...
I'd like to be able to do that for ours, but it's...
Yeah.
When you're
It's
not making
pricey.
any money on it, it's cost prohibitive.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the reasons comedy on vinyl's going away. I do feel bad because it's like it wouldn't cost, like, objectively, it's cheap to it's like it would be $100 to have a regular episode of comedy on vinyl, maybe even cheaper than that, to have that transcribed. It would probably be cheaper than that. But I'd have to make more than that on it. I'd have to make close to that on an episode to make it worth it, to have it professionally. That's why I like uploading them to YouTube, because sometimes they're okay, but also, like, if the person hearing it doesn't know who the fuck is talking because it's just an audio episode, then that's going
Right.
to throw you. And,
Yeah, that's...
you know.
I know, but that's why I uploaded ours to YouTube. It's like, it's something
Yeah, that's
that
smart.
I can...
Yeah, I was going to say.
and some sites don't block YouTube, where they
Yeah.
block other audio sources because they use YouTube for training or whatever. So maybe someone can listen to it at work that they couldn't normally listen
That's
to
true.
a podcast. But mostly it's because at least I get something with captions. It's not great,
Yeah.
especially like we try not to talk over each other, but it's
but
us.
we do.
But we do.
There's no getting around that deal.
No, it's just how we all as a group interact. Which, by the way, actually, I don't think I had done it since before Thanksgiving, but I got all the episodes uploaded to YouTube this week.
Yeah, you're telling me. I went yesterday to watch some of my subscriptions on YouTube, and all of a sudden, all I see is of Dyson Dens. I'm like, what the fuck is Dan
there was
doing?
at least like 22 episodes total, I think.
Holy shit. Yeah, I've been thinking about it, but you know, the further down the road I get on my 900 episodes or whatever that I've produced, I'm like, I can't do this. I want to do exactly that, but I don't have the time. I don't know.
Yeah.
Can you render them quickly? Do they render fairly quickly since it's a static image for you?
Yeah, it renders pretty quickly, a few minutes each.
All right, maybe I can just suck it up and do that, because it shouldn't. Yeah, maybe I can do it. Maybe I should just suck it up and do that.
There may be some services that do that too.
Oh, that's possible. That's certainly.
I've never really dug into that.
Dan,
Yeah,
what do you want to promote this week?
I'd like to promote myself to manager.
Oh, okay. Well, that is, you know, as you know, I approve your promotion.
Okay, thank you.
You've worked very
Also,
hard.
I'd like to mention of Dyson Den's podcast.
Oh, it's a good
we
show.
have at least one fan in the real world that I met, so it's not all bots.
Thank God.
Um,
What if he was the one?
the one,
the one.
listener. I'm fine with that. Having
Yeah, I
one
mean,
is still
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Hey, Lucas, our dude.
It's kind of like we got people in England and freaking Sweden and Norway and fucking China and Thailand.
That's amazing. That's so cool.
Yeah, and I know it's like legit because it's using the embedded player on the website,
Oh, interesting.
right? So I know it's not just some bot downloading it.
Yeah. Okay.
So check that out at odndpodcast.com.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of cool stuff there.
Yep.
We started another limited series because we don't have enough shit going on in our lives, where we're experimenting with some new rules to Deadlands.
Mm-hmm.
Because after 20 years, the people who made it, the Pinnacle has a thing called Savage Worlds, which is a rule set they created that's designed to be extensible.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of games have been built on those rules.
Mm-hmm.
And so they basically converted Deadlands to those rules
Oh, okay.
as a Kickstarter. And
Okay.
so we're checking out those rules to see how we like it.
Can we announce anything about anything else big upcoming for gaming situation, or should we hold on to that information for a minute?
The Meowathon? Oh, we
Yeah.
can definitely mention that.
Okay. Hit him up.
Yeah. Meowathon. We're doing that again.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? We're looking at July 16th through the 18th. So that's exciting. If you're interested, keep an eye on the OD&D podcast website, because I will put information up there. Or keep an eye on our Twitter at OD&D pod, because I will definitely be mentioning it on there as well.
Last year I got drunk enough to put stuff up my nose for charity. So who knows what
well,
I'll
now
put up what this
I'm
year.
down with that.
Yeah.
This year we'll be using Tiltify, so we'll be able to do, the Banes and Boons a little bit easier than we did last year.
Okay.
And also, I'm going to have like 2 months planning instead of 1 week.
Yeah. That was pretty impressive for 1 week, honestly.
I think about it, I get tired already. So I'm like, I don't know how I pulled that together.
I don't know.
But we're doing. I'm planning 3 days this year.
Ooh,
instead
okay.
of 2.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
That'll be fun.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Since I'm just going to take that week off, basically.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Well, I can probably also do the same thing, taking that time off. So I might be able to help a little bit this time.
That'll be good. Yeah, Mary's going to try to take some time off too.
Oh, good. Oh, also, don't forget, you guys can probably at some point buy aprons of OD&D podcasts. So don't forget.
Yeah, keep an eye on that because
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to do at least one.
Do everything.
I have to.
Yeah, I want a pillowcase.
I'm thinking of putting a couple shirts up as a prize,
That's
as
a
a
good
raffle prize.
That's a good idea. Why not? They're good-looking shirts. They're
I like
quality.
them. They're comfy.
Yeah. I might. Oh, by then I might actually have something of substance to offer to people. That could be good. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Check out the Comedy on Vinyl podcast. That show is ending in November, but we're going to be building to some pretty good stuff. The final episode will be in November. If it goes as planned, it'll be a very special, fun, super episode. Dan's going to be coming back briefly it's for a whole hour, but we're going to do an episode. I don't know of what yet. I don't
pee
remember.
on
Dan's going to pee on the show, apparently. Didn't know that.
On the episode specifically.
That's very weird, but look, I said you could do the show, and I'm not allowed to walk that back. So
Yeah. I'm famous now. I met a fan.
that's true. You're famous. Yeah. Yep. That's how that works.
That's
You're
how it
absolutely
works.
Right. You're right. I don't know. That's it. I think that's it. Dan, what do you want to leave everybody with?
It's vodka o'clock. And I'm going to be joining the Zoom meeting with the camera on. Because fuck you.
And I'm just going to leave you with, he's from Peckerville! Dan and Jay's Comedy Hour, the podcast, is part of the StolenDress Podcast Network. The show is hosted by Dan Gomiller and Jason Klamm. The Dan and Jay's Community Service theme song was composed and performed by Brian Magic Hands Madison. The Silver Jubilee theme song was composed and performed by Nick Robes, with lyrics by Jason Klamm. Have questions? Call and leave us a voicemail at 208-557-DJCH. That's 208-557-3524. You can also send snail mail to StolenDress Entertainment, P.O. Box 805, Burbank, California, 91503. Subscribe to Dan and Jay's Comedy Hour on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever else you can find us. Give us a 5-star rating and write us a review. It helps. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter at DJC Hour and Instagram at Dan and Jay Comedy. Or find everything in one place at danandjay.com. Visit StolenDress.com to listen to our other podcasts, watch videos, and imbibe freely of our multimedia content going back 15 plus years.
Goodbye, Dan and Jay's Comedy Hour.
StolenDress Entertainment.
Hey, it's my turn. Ah!